Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, we have a question from Servantov Yahuwah Not of the World, who says, I have a question hopefully you could answer in a video. If you are planning a max approach jump session to where you stop jumping when the quality is low and you are tired as well, how many days before should you stop working out so that you aren't fatigued for that session? So, for example, if we have a jump session on Friday, should we train on Wednesday and then rest on Thursday so that we are fresh for Friday? Should we train on Tuesday and then rest Wednesday and Thursday so that we're fresh for Friday? What is the best thing to do? When should we stop working out so that we are fresh for our jump session and we can get some high quality max approach jumps to therefore increase our vertical jump? This is a very good question. I have a very good answer for you. But before I give that answer, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your question down below if you want me to answer your question in a video just like this, and get my vertical jump secret system if you want all of your prayers answered in a 40+ inch vertical jump. Link will be down below in the pinned comment and in the description of this video. So this is a good question. For my athletes, what I often tell them to do, and what I suggest that you do as well, is only high quality jumps for your jump sessions. So this is why if I am ever personally very fatigued on any given day that I'm supposed to jump, or if my athletes are fatigued on any given day, what I like them to do is get to about 70 to 80 to maybe 90% intensity, 7 to 9 RPE, that day if they're in their jump. So still do your jump session, still get your reps of jumping, but don't try to do max jumps if you already know you're super fatigued and you feel tired that day, because we don't want low quality jumps. There's no point in breaking down the central nervous system even further, breaking down our body, our tendons, the connective tissue, everything even further, if we're not going to be able to hit some max intensity jumps, possibly getting PRs or jumping as high as possible, or at least close to it, to move the needle even higher. There's just no point. So let's use it as a deload day. Let's use it as a back off day, and then come back 2 or 3 days later and try again. Also on this channel, I talk about the drop off principle a lot, in which you jump and jump and jump and jump and jump until you see a drop off in performance. As soon as you feel fatigued, as soon as you feel tired during that jump session, you stop jumping. So for example, you're warming up through submaximal jumps. You start with touching the net, then you start touching the backboard, then you start touching the rim, then you start dunking a tennis ball, and then a volleyball, and then a soccer ball. Or if you don't dunk small balls, you just get higher and higher and higher. And then once you are fully warmed up, you do your max approach jumps or your max approach dunks. And you're dunking and dunking and dunking, or you're jumping and jumping and jumping until you feel like you're a little bit tired and you see your jumps aren't as high. You see that drop off in performance. That is where you stop, because there's no point in breaking down your body even further with low quality jumps. There's just no point. So the goal is high quality jumps to move the needle and increase your vertical jump. So back to Servantov's question, when should we stop training to see those high quality jumps, to really have a high quality jump session? Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Well, the answer is that it's going to be different for everybody. And I know that answer kind of sucks, but the answer really is it depends. And you are going to have to test for yourself, because everyone is different. This is completely due to the central nervous system. It's going to depend on the volume that you are doing. So for example, for me, I feel best. I have my best jumps after 1 day of rest. So I normally train my vertical jump Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And just to be completely honest, I jump all of those days. It's microdosing. So I go in and I follow the same rule that I just gave all of you. I do not do max intensity jumps if I start my jump session and I already feel like, nope, this is not the session. So I will still jump. I'll still get some approach jumps in, but it's at 7 to 9 RPE, 7 to 90% intensity. I do not do max approach jumps as high as I can, because I just know that I'm not going to hit a PR that day. It's not going to be quality jumps. So in that case, I don't jump. But then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when I do jump, if I do feel good, I do feel like I can hit some PRs, I do feel like I can get some quality jumps, then I only do about 10 max jumps. So I do microdosing, and I follow the drop-off principle. And as soon as I see a drop-off in performance, I stop. So I follow all this stuff that I give you. But I personally feel best after 1 day of rest. So on Mondays, after 2 days of rest from the weekend, I normally don't see my highest jumps. But then on Wednesday, I normally can get pretty high. I see good jumps. And then on Friday, I see good jumps. So this might not be the same for you. You might see your best jumps on Monday after 2 days of rest. But I do want to point out that a lot of pro dunkers train and squat heavy the day before a jump session. Some people like to do it 2 days before a jump session. So I know a lot of pro dunkers that their schedule is Monday they train, Thursday they train, and then Saturday they have a jump session. I know a lot of pro dunkers that they train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday is a jump session. But it all has to do with volume. You have to figure out what makes your central nervous system feel the best. So my volume is pretty much always low. I am essentially, unless I'm in a volume phase, I am really just doing, like, I'll go into the gym, I'll warm up, I'll do some sprints until drop off, I'll do some jumps until drop off, then I'll hit a squat hinge calf raise. That's just all I have time for right now. So for me, it's 1 day of rest in between. For other people, it's 2 days of rest in between. For a lot of people, they like to train the day before, heavy session the day before, and post-activation potentiation comes into play. For me today, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I go into the gym on a Monday. Today's a Monday. I don't have any videos recorded. That's why this video wasn't posted at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'm behind on these Answers for Athletes videos. But today, I already went into the gym at 6 a.m. I did not have a good jump session. As soon as I started jumping, I was like, yep, nope, this isn't going to be quality jumps. So I did my jumps, about 7 out of 10 RPE. I did some sprints, about 7 out of 10 RPE. My body just did not feel the greatest. Then I went and I did some box squats. I did some explosive RDLs, and I did some heavy calf raises. What I'm going to do is, when I go back for basketball practice, because we have basketball practice today, right before basketball practice, I'm going to do a jump session. And I'm willing to bet that I feel bouncy. And sometimes I'll do this, sometimes I don't have time to do this, but strength training in the morning, sometimes that leaves me potentiated for my jump session later on. Sometimes if I wait too long, I don't feel bouncy. So like I said, it depends. You're really going to have to test it out and see what works best for you, and the volume really matters as well. You want to say something, bro? You got something to say? Here you go. You got something to say? Go ahead. Whoa, okay, that's puke. Okay, we're back. So what I was saying is, if the volume is super high, the volume is too high, you might need 2 days in between. If the volume is really high, you might not feel that great at all during a volume phase. So hopefully this answer helped you, but the real answer is, it really depends on everyone. This question and like the topic of how to feel bouncy at a certain period of time, it has pained me for a long time, because I still haven't completely been able to pinpoint. I have for myself, but for my athletes in person, it's very hard to pinpoint when someone is going to feel really bouncy. But we can do our best by prepping this, and we can do trial runs. So when I used to do bodybuilding competitions, like I would do a fake peak week. Like whenever you're leading up to competition and your bodybuilding competitions, you have a peak week. So the last week you have to really peak your performance so that you look the best on stage. Now, before you do that, a month before, I would do a fake peak week and I would practice everything that I was going to do for my real peak week and see how dialed in I could get my body. Same thing goes for vertical jump. You really have to practice this stuff and find out what works best for you to feel as bouncy as possible. So it depends for everybody, but hopefully this gave you a couple different situations and scenarios that you can try for yourself to see what feels best for you. But anyways, Cash and I are out. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your question down below if you want us to answer your question in a video just like this. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.